Today, she asks us to consider the benefits of engaging communities through art. Please welcome Natalie Wadwell.
It's time that we continue to take art off its almighty pedestal. Centuries ago, art was only for the socially elite until its educational value was realised. It then became a way to educate the lower class citizens on good moral values and acceptable behaviour in society. And gradually, we've broken the art establishment down even further to the point where it's now more largely accessible to a wider and more diverse audience. But the problem here, I grew up in a sporting family. Saturday mornings were spent at the field watching my sisters run around while I sat on the picnic blanket drawing. I was referred to as the other Wadwell. Many people started to ask me, why art, Natalie? Really, art? Why? Art has proven to be a valuable tool for communication. Art has given voices to those rendered voiceless. Art has united, divided, and reunited people. Art has challenged us. Art has provoked discussion about social, political, and cultural issues. The way we engage, or rather don't engage, with art has really come to intrigue me over the last 2 years. As the book title suggests, technology developed and took us from caves to canvas. And as our art practice developed, we put it up on a pedestal and we ostracised the audience. And now today, we're using marketing to regain those lost audiences and re-educate society on why art is important. I started my second year of art theory this year, art theory history at COFA. And these grand narratives of high art became very apparent to me. And the misconceptions about art and society very quickly followed and a very keen interest for me. So I really want to address one of these misconceptions for you today. Art exists beyond the inner city of Sydney. It's true, bear with me here. I would suggest that I come from one of the most culturally diverse areas of Sydney, and that's the Macarthur Region. The countless number of talented artists and studio groups stems from Wollondilly to Wedderburn to Kent Lynn and beyond. If you're not familiar with those areas, they're sort of further out than the ones that I've put on my map there. Art is displayed in cafes, libraries, community spaces, as well as our regional arts centre, which is quite similar to what happens everywhere else. People just don't really know about it. So the Arts Centre since 1982 is a result of our community. The artists out there banded together, campaigned to the council and said, look, we really want a local arts centre. And since then, it's played quite a prominent role in our local art community. But there's something that we can all agree on. There's something missing. It's empty. And that's because young people are missing. We're socially conditioned to believe that there's no career prospect in the art industry. Art is just a hobby. I disagree. Obviously, that's why I'm standing here today. So I've set myself a challenge. After my HSC, this idea that art is just a hobby was sort of pushed on me a lot, like, Natalie, you really need to get a plan B, C, D, E, F, Z, because all my plans for life include art. Let's hope that's not my downfall. But at the end of my HSC, I put this sign up on my wall. You will have your own exhibition. And if you can't read the small print, it says one day. I had to be a little bit realistic here, guys. The art industry is a tough industry. I'm not here to tell you otherwise. We were being realistic. It's only on Van Gogh's Starry Night because I was quite infatuated with his paintings that year. So just everything accumulated in this sign, plastered it up on my bedroom wall. I'm telling you this story because I'd like you guys to sort of have a think about what it is that drives you in life. What makes you want to get out of bed in the morning? Because this sign propelled me to act a lot sooner than I thought it would. Have you ever had one of those conversations with your friends? I'm sure you guys probably have, you as well, where you sit there and you talk about your craziest dreams. They're completely impractical, and you're going to end up somewhere between completely impractical, absolutely ridiculous, why am I even thinking this? You generally end up with tears streaming down your cheeks, abs forming, stomach pains from laughing to the point that you're actually not laughing anymore. You're like the clapping seal that does nothing. Well, Wadwell Initiatives is a result of one of these conversations. Only after I stopped laughing and wiped the tears away from my face and collected myself, I thought, well, why can't I create an exhibition for the local young artists of Macarthur? Okay, money, space, insurance. Pretty good excuses to stop what I was doing, run for the hills, abandon the idea altogether. But I was quite thankful not to give up on myself that quickly. I approached some community organisations over a few months, and they helped me turn this ridiculous idea, not worthy of airtime, into a reality. It took 12 months, so don't take the term quickly lightly. It was quite a very long, tiring process. But it's something I'm very thankful for. The next problem I was faced with, if people aren't willing to latch onto our original idea when we pitch it to them, how do you make them come to the final product? That was my challenge. I had to engage an audience that wouldn't go out of their way to view art. How was I going to do that? I plonked an exhibition of 20 artists, their HSC major works, in the middle of popular culture. And for us, that's Macarthur Square. It's a shopping centre. And very thankfully, got the space right in the centre of the square. The location attracted over 100 people specifically for the opening night and 100,000 over a 5-day period. I had enough people over 5 days to fill out an AFL grand final. That was quite overwhelming, to be honest. So the wonderful thing about the works I exhibited was that they were all reflected in the People's Choice votes. I received 800 People's Choice votes, which was way beyond what I expected to receive. So the community response was so completely overwhelming, beyond what I had anticipated, that I was sort of at a next challenge. How was I going to back it up? I wasn't ready to be a one-hit wonder. I was only 19. There's no time to be a one-hit wonder. So stepping up 2014, entries have just closed, which is quite exciting. But the community wanted to see more. They didn't just want to look at the HSC major works every year. And this is why I've created Illuminate. Illuminate is an exhibition for tertiary students, many from whom, in our region, actually have to travel out of the region to study. So this is a really nice tokenistic opportunity for them to come back in locally and exhibit their art as a part of Youth Week 2014. Something that someone wise has told me throughout this whole process. Always ask yourself, what am I learning from this? This sort of tied into my research. Over the last 2 years, I've become interested in this idea that art is made to respond to our community. It's not just the community responding to art. Art is made accessible through incorporating individuals in subject matter, not just that distant pedestal item. So, and the next beautiful thing that I've come across is that the artists I'm exhibiting, I'm not naive. I know by all means the artists I'm exhibiting are by no means experienced artists. They're by no means matured. But that's what's beautiful. They're all learning and engaging with their practice at the same time that I'm learning and engaging with how to curate exhibitions. This is what Wadwell Initiatives is all about. It's about hard work. It's about enthusiasm. It's about persistence. It's about rocking up to a TED Talk with a cold because you really just need to tell people about this. I've literally worked myself sick, my friend said to me yesterday. So kind of her. But this is what Wadwell Initiatives is all about. So by increasing accessibility to art, I've realised that there is potential for young people to become a part of this really great, thriving art culture we have happening in Macarthur outside of the city life. And I also have come to realise that there is a lot more sitting back waiting for an opportunity. But that's our first mistake, waiting for the opportunity to come to you. Thank you.